my comrades, and welcome to the 2021 Lotus Evora GT. This beautiful, beautiful handmade British beast. It is a ton of fun. Retails right around $100,000. It's a ton of fun. And my gosh, I've had it for just a couple of days now, and it is probably my favorite car I've ever driven so far as an automotive journalist. All right, I'm going to read off the spec sheet to make life easy for myself. So weight comes in at 3,175 pounds. That's 75 pounds less than the Evora 400. 0 to 60 takes 3.8 seconds. The 3.5 liter supercharged V6 makes 416 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. Transmission is a close ratio 6-speed manual, has a cooler on there, and also has a Torsen limited slip differential. Power to weight is 264 horsepower per ton. The chassis is lightweight aluminum, extruded and bonded, as they say. There goes some Porsches, 3 Porsches. I'm up on Angeles Crest right now, if you were wondering. Hydraulic power steering, hydraulic brakes, obviously. And it is phenomenal. So much fun. It's also kind of, you could call it, say, kind of like a hot rod. I'm not going to call it a parts bin special, but it's definitely a performance brands special. The supercharger underneath is made by Edelbrock. The dampers are made by Bilstein. And the sway bars are made by Eibach. Pretty neat that they kind of went to all the pros to get the right stuff. Check out this. This is a very light carbon fiber hood, or rear hood? I guess you could call it the hatch. But anyway, check out this big air water cooled supercharger on top of this 3.5 liter Toyota Camry engine. Check out all this aero work. Check out all this carbon fiber. You got cooling vents right here. You got these cool things back here that build up all kinds of debris. Earlier there's a bunch of like sand and stuff in there. Gigantic AP Racing brakes. There we go, 720. Beautiful. Gigantic AP Racing brakes. All this venting right here, and when you're driving along, rocks will pop up through here, interestingly. I think that's kind of funny. Big Lotus badge right there. Yeah, neat stuff. So to start it up, it's interesting. You turn it all the way, put your foot on the clutch, engine start over here. Oh, never mind. The security system, what do you call it? The immobilizer is active, so you have to lock, let it sit a sec, unlock, and we should be good now. There we go. Turn this straight. Pretty neat stuff. So what a cabin, what a cockpit. It's interesting. There's not a whole lot going on, but there's actually a lot to talk about. So you've got gorgeous Alcantara across many surfaces. Lots of this perforated stitched leather as well. You got this carbon fiber binnacle that's really neat. You've got lots of venting going on. The door itself, it feels very good and sturdy. Although when you watch this, when you close it, I think it only happens when the window is down, but like the door card shakes. It's kind of funny. It's like, is that British or is that just because it's ultra lightweight? You can see the supercharger right there, and watch this. You can see stuff move when you hit the gas. How cool is that? The seating position is good. It's actually very tall guy friendly. Put in sports so we can hear it better. It's tall guy friendly because I fit in it just fine with a comfortable performance driving position, and the seats have good bolstering on the side, but they're a little awkward because I believe they're Sparco performance seats, yet unfortunately you can't tilt them. So you know, you kind of sit far back, you're kind of like reclined as you are in cars like this and mid-engined sports cars and nearly supercars. I call it a mid-engined sports car. But you don't have a whole lot of thigh support, and it's kind of awkward. You really have to sit your butt all the way back in the seat and kind of push your shoulders back to be fully comfortable. You have to kind of like brace yourself. My feet are size 12 and I'd say regular width, and I am right on the limit of comfortable heel-toe downshifting. Very good. They're doing some drifts over there. Oh, awesome. Good on them. But I can smell the burnt tires from here. That's awesome. But the I lost my train of thought. But the stereo system is very good. It's actually very well insulated. You do get a lot of road noise, especially when you get up to like 80 on the highway. But totally forgivable. Who gives a shit? It's a very lightweight, 3,100 pound, you know, sports car. The switchgear is very nice. I was actually genuinely surprised by that. Like, you feel these knobs, you turn like the fan control and the temperature, and it feels very good, in fact. And all these buttons up here, surprisingly, I'm getting hints of like high-end GT3, GT4 car switch panels. Like, it feels like that, and that's a good thing, because this thing feels like such a race car for the road. You know, when people call it a mini McLaren, like a mini McLaren 570S, 570 GT, 620R, whatever, man, they ain't kidding. Like, you really feel like you're in a small street legal race car, and I love that these buttons add to that. So, driving the Lotus Evora GT on a fun road, well, my gosh, life-changing. This thing is so wonderful. Watch out there, 964. This thing is so wonderful. The cornering speeds are insane. The confidence is good. You have so much feedback through the chassis and the steering. The brakes are strong. Gosh, there's so much going on with the wheel. It's wonderful. I love that. It's a lightweight front end, of course, because, you know, mid-engine, but also good old-fashioned, you know, good old-fashioned hydraulic steering. The gear shift is very good. I wouldn't call it amazing. I wouldn't call it excellent. It's not as good as a Civic Type R, but it's still very good. The throw is very long. You can be pretty quick with it, but you kind of have to. You have to be solid. You have to be meaningful in your shifts, if that makes any sense. Like, you can't just like slam. You just can't quick shift it. You really have to like be in the mindset, I guess. I don't know. You have to be confident and forthright with your shifting in this car. And it is cable, so it's never going to be amazing, but again, it's very good. God, just the way this thing comes out of corners is wonderful. And then hilariously, when you turn traction control off in race mode, it'll like, you can feel like when you come out of a corner, you put your foot down, you can feel the rear end just plant. You know, there's no ECU interruption. You just feel the rear end just push down and you rock it out of corners. It is something to behold. I'm not even revving this thing out very much. Let's put it back in third. Oh, so good. The speeds that this thing maintains in corners is wonderful. And it's all passive damping too. That's wild. This doesn't have adaptive dampers, which we've grown so used to in this day and age in performance vehicles. This just has good old-fashioned Bilstein dampers with normal springs, probably like a good spring and a good spring rate. But the dampers, I mean, they're tuned for the right compression, the right rebound, so that it's comfortable, it soaks up the bumps, yet it feels really connected, and there's barely any body roll. It leans a little bit, but not in any way that is like, you know, that would steal away confidence or feel weird. Like, it leans, but it just feels so connected and good. Oh my gosh. Here's a good spot right here. I'm gonna put on the brakes really hard. Oh, so good. It just has that classic supercharger whine in addition to a high-pitched, angry V6 howl. This power is wonderful. The way power comes on, it's just so linear. It's brutal and it's aggressive, but it's not scary. Oh, I hit redline there. There, you see what I mean? Where it's like, it's aggressive and it's powerful, but it's not scary because it's so linear and good. Right now, with it in race mode, traction control is turned off, albeit again, It's got some darn good grip, especially right now that the tires are warmed up. But the tuning is sharper. It feels more intense. The tone is a little bit louder. It's definitely louder when it's idling. Yeah, just phenomenal. So wonderful. Damping is excellent. Power is wonderful. Driving position is great. The shifter is very good. The looks are amazing. It looks so nice. The price is very competitive considering like mini McLaren vibes. Like this thing's 100 grand and you know, whatever, $96,000, $97,000, somewhere around there. The fact that you can get 0 to 60 in 3.8 from a mid-engine car that's just covered in carbon fiber for that price, that'll just be a monster everywhere and actually be pretty comfortable on the street, is just mind-blowing. Now that we're actually going low speed and the wind won't be too intense, I'll try to get the supercharger whine on camera. Yeah, you can hear that. Surely you can. God, that's so good. Oh, it just revs up so fast too. It revs like a gosh darn bike motor. Gosh darn. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. I guess because it's so confident and so easy to drive and so predictable. I'm not being too unfiltered in my language. I can actually think and like censor myself. Look at it, accelerating through this corner. I never do that in other cars. I haven't done that in a car since I had the 620R up here. Ooh, 718 GT4. Oh yeah, that's this car's direct competitor. Also, side note, I was talking about this with my colleague earlier. I bet you when these were new, because again, this car isn't new anymore, it's discontinued. They stopped making them literally 2 weeks ago as of this filming. When this car was new, I bet you could walk into a Lotus dealership and buy one at MSRP, and they would sell it to you. Now, if you walk into a Porsche dealership without having previously formed a relationship with that dealership, and without having an allocation from Porsche because you're a good Porsche customer who buys a lot of Porsches, I'm not sure if they'd sell you a GT4 or even at MSRP. And there's something to say about that, considering they're around the same price, both mid-engined, they're both fast as hell. They both have pretty much the same 0 to 60. And yes, I'm sure the 718 has a better interior, and I'm sure it feels more refined. But from what everyone said about the gearing, and from what everyone said about, again, trying to get one at MSRP, I don't know, this could be the better value. So things I don't like about the Lotus Evora GT, not much. The pedals are off to the right. It's not a big deal. I wish you could tilt the seat. That's actually a legit gripe, I think. I wish you could tilt the seat back more and feel more connected, more race car like you do in the McLaren 620R. And just, you know, you won't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about bracing my knees on stuff. Albeit, at least it's a comfortable spot to brace my knee. But yeah, power, steering, chassis, brakes, looks, the fact that I fit in it decently. And so with that, thank you so much for watching, my friends. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, of course. Still feel awkward saying that. But also check out my Instagram, 16VP, Twitter, 16VP. Check out Car Bibles, my main gig where I write, where there's all kinds of fun enthusiast content being written every day. And yeah, thanks again so much for joining me on this drive. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.